Hey everyone, this is Grady at SUBOVERLAND. In this video I'll be doing a quick little walk around of this '08 Suburban build that we did, and let's get right into it. So this is an '08 Chevy Suburban. You've seen it a bunch. This is actually our personal rig. So I will do a quick overview of the mods that we did. Suspension wise, it's the same. It's the Bilstein 5100 shocks that we use in all our builds, front and rear. The front suspension on these is a coil. You can see, so it's a coil spring versus the torsion bar of the 2000 to 2006. So in '07 they changed that on these Suburbans, and so we don't use a spacer or anything. It's actually integrated into that Bilstein 5100 shock. Pretty cool. And then the tires are 285/70/17s on Vulcan Wild Peak AT3Ws. This is a winter rated tire, 10 ply. And I will say on the '07 and newer, it's 17 inches the smallest wheel size you can go, versus in 2006 and older you could go down to a 16. Rear suspension is new HD Moog coils, and then I do some towing with this, so we put in some airbags. Let's see if I can get a video of that. Definitely not the right spot. The spare tire will be in the way here. There we go. So there's the airbags. These are just probably Firestone, I want to say. I think I just had them laying around. I didn't really think much, but these are nice to have, and I believe we installed them. Yeah, so there's the air chuck. So we put that's where you top them off, and it's just one, so they're both you when you put air to them, they're the same pressure, both sides. This is a half ton, and it's a Z71 package, so it has this style of running board. And then engine wise, this is still a 5.3, so they're still doing a 5.3 on these. '07 they did a new thing called AFM, so active fuel management, and that changes from 4-cylinder to 8 cylinders. And I mean, if it's doing its job, it does all right. We haven't had a ton of problems with them, but you will read, if you research on forums and stuff, it'll be like, oh, AFM delete and all this stuff, which, it is an option. I haven't done a delete on mine, and it's still fine. This has 230K. I do have a little lifter tick sometimes, and so at some point I'll probably just end up doing an engine swap on this. Could be in a year or two, or it could be in never. We'll see what happens. Let's keep on driving it. But I bought this vehicle that way, knowing that sometime down the line, so it was a little bit different. That's why I have this one versus sending it out with a client. So anyway, and then that's about it for suspension. I'll show you up top here. I don't have a roof rack or anything because it doesn't fit in the garage. We have an older home, but we put these two panels. So usually we just do the one 100 watt Renogy, but I had a larger fridge that I wanted to run off, and so I had a bigger battery bank and a larger fridge, and so I was like, oh, what the heck, I'll slap 2 panels up here. So this has 2 panels up top. And I also forgot to mention that the main reason I'm doing this walk around is we're switching up our models a little bit here pretty soon. And this one, as you can see, we're kind of halfway through the tour here, but it's more of a custom build. I wanted the 2 panels, I didn't want a roof rack, I didn't want the solar shower, so I kind of pieced together my own build and some other features about it too. And so this is an option that we offer as far as like building your own, but I haven't really advertised it much. So hopefully this video helps out and lets you know that we can do a build your own style, a custom build like this. Interior wise, we still wanted 7 seats, so it has 3 rows in it still. And so we did a little stubby platform. So it still has drawers and everything, but as you can see, it's way shorter than our typical platform build. And I keep this thing stocked, especially right now. It's starting to get better weather. But so there's the drawer system, super simple. This platform, it's not our typical quality. I honestly, where did I get this thing from? I just kind of like pieced it together one day and slapped it in here. Like it's really crude, and so but it works for us for now, and I spend more time on clients' vehicles than my own, so that's how it's supposed to be. And this one, and then I wanted to have a little more modular setup, and so this is the Delta Max, so the EcoFlow Delta Max. So this is the bigger one that we offer. You see it's being charged up right now. So we're letting in 80 something watts. It'll be around 120, 130 watts max from these panels in really good sun. And then the fridge is plugged into it. So, this is just a little bit bigger battery capacity and a little bit bigger inverter than the regular Delta. And then up front, so we have this is a captain seat model. And so here's our captains where the kids sit. And then here's the little fridge. This is the Dometic CFX 25. It replaced the CFX 28, so it's a great size for where you put them in the center consoles, or we decided to do it for right here. That might change, I don't know. We just kind of wanted some more console. There's like a DVD player, so like with 3 kids this stuff kind of adds up, unfortunately, especially on road trips. And so having a console is nice when you have that many people in here. It is extremely inconvenient to get over the top though. So the 3rd row kid, has to kind of climb over this. So it wouldn't be ideal for like adults that aren't super agile. So this setup isn't going to work for some people. They would definitely want it up there instead. And then I also made our mounting brackets down there. So if I wanted to put the Delta up front, I could. And so I wanted to make it modular. So like if I wanted to take out the 3rd row seat and have a sleeping platform in the back, I could move the Delta up here and then I could sleep in the back. And so I just wanted that added freedom. And some, I guess, new things that they added for these years of Suburbans. This is an 08, like I mentioned, so an 07 and newer. They did, a lot of them will have like a power lift gate like this. Another thing they added was backup sensors and cameras for the first time stock. So this one doesn't have a, the upgraded camera, backup camera, but it does have the sensors. So it's like a little sonar type sensor. And another major, obviously the body is different, but it still has that 4L60 transmission. So it's a 4-speed in 2011, I believe. And in some of, in the Escalades and Denali's, they had the 6-speed a little earlier. So it's a 6L80, and those are great transmissions too. And then, this one's obviously 4-wheel drive, so it still has high and low range. In this model era, when you get to the newer ones, I think in 13 and up, they started with just, 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive and auto. So 2, auto, and 4, but they didn't have a low, so it's just a 1-speed transfer case. This is a Z71 package, so this one has 2-tone leather. It's one of the new things. And then I see on the dash there, it has a Z71 on there. Heated seats is pretty common for this package level. And as far as how these things drive, this is the first era that they had over 300 horsepower stock out of the 5.3, and so it does have a more get up and go for sure than prior generation, but it's not like, who's going to be racing these things, so it's kind of like a mute issue in my mind. But it's nice having a little more oomph if you're going. But as far as like torque specs, it probably has a little bit more torque too, and but as far as like a drivetrain wise, they're extremely similar to the predecessor, and that's what I like about GM. They keep with what works. The only kind of grief that people have had with this Aero is, like I mentioned, that AFM sometimes will fail and you have to do work. But I mean, with any car you're gonna have to rebuild or redo some certain things. So, but yeah, that's pretty much sums up this tour. Like I said, this is more of our build your own or custom build that we want to get out there, and we're happy to help anyone who wants to build that style of build instead of with our models. But thanks for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't yet. We'd love to have you, and till next time.